Well, hello, good evening to all of our viewers watching us on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you for joining us on another episode on Fixing Nigeria with Dr. Sunday Adelaja. I'm your host, Anu Ojo. It's always a pleasure to be on your screens on this special program on Dr. Sunday's platform, themed Fixing Nigeria. Every Nigerian wants to see a better country, or maybe not every, at least most Nigerians want to see a transformed Nigeria. They want to see a better nation, and many people pray and many people hope, but very few people are making intentional actions. Very few people are constructive in their approach to bringing national growth, national development, and to bring civilization to our nation. Now, Fixing Nigeria is that program that helps in proffering solutions, not just talking about the problems, but giving out guidelines, values, principles that will help not only Nigeria, but will help any nation to become developed, to become a great nation. And that is the reason why, if you're watching us, either you're Nigerian or you're from any other country, we'd like to welcome you to this program. It would be great if you can share this video with your friends, if you can invite your family members, if you can invite your Nigerian friends, your Africans. Just let's get the word out that we are set for another episode on Fixing Nigeria. Last week we had an amazing conversation on the subject of cynicism. Today we are continuing on a different topic, but one that I believe is not peculiar to Nigeria, but one that is available in Nigeria and also in other parts of the world. And as you can see on the screen, the title of today's discussion is Nigeria and the Consumerism Culture. Nigeria and the Consumerism Culture. If you've been following Fixing Nigeria, you would realize that we've been talking a lot about culture, about mindsets, about stereotypes, about psyches, about values. Why? Because in the words of Dr. Sunday Adelaja, he says nations are not great by the virtue of their wealth, but the great nations are great by the wealth of their virtues. But what that means is Nigeria, though wealthy in natural resources and with even human capital and all of that, but we are not amongst the leading nations of the world because we are not wealthy with our virtues. So this program is to help in propagating the right values, in propagating the values that lead to national development, the values that can transform any nation to become a leading nation in the world. So you're very much welcome, and we hope to have an amazing discussion today like we've had in previous episodes, and to gain some understanding, to gain some knowledge on how we can build our nation. Last week, like I said earlier, we discussed on the subject of cynicism, and we have the snippets just to show some parts of the discussion, and then we'll be back for today's discussion. Stay tuned. What is the reality of cynicism in Nigeria to you personally?
Well, you started well by talking about this book, The Death of Nations, and why, the second title of the book is Why Countries Die, or Why Countries
Fail.
Why Countries Fail. Yeah, The Death of Nations, Why Countries Fail. And number one on the list, or one of the number one reasons on the list, is cynicism. When a country is permeated with cynicism, when cynicism has become a lifestyle of the people, what has happened is that people have lost faith. And when faith is gone, then what comes in the place of faith is cynicism, and cynicism will lead to apathy, and apathy will lead to complacency, and complacency will lead to disillusionment, and all these things, are what would lead to the death of nations. And these are the things that make a nation to lose, to fail. Countries fail. So countries fail, nations die, because our own forefathers, the nationalists, the people who fought for the independence of Nigeria from Britain, they were saying, no, we are ready. We want our own independence. We want to be on our own. You see, people just have this crooked mindset that if we have our own independence and determine our own affairs, everything will just be good automatically. All our problems will vanish and everything will be resolved. But we got independence from the British. We think we are going to do better because we think that it is the independence itself, by definition, that leads to well-being and that leads to prosperity. But we don't know. No, it is the inner content of the people who are asking for the independence that will determine their well-being.
Nigeria started with faith. So we had faith in our foundation. So what changed?
One of the sports that I really like is boxing. Can you believe it?
Yeah, you said it.
Okay, you've never seen me watching boxing.
I've not seen you personally.
No, you've never seen me.
I've not seen you personally. Okay.
Yes, I watch boxing, and one of the lessons I've learned in boxing is that you don't take somebody from the street and put him in the boxing ring with
on the canvas to fight
with a professional.
You get
who is the world champion. So there is a difference between somebody, someone that has a lot of enthusiasm, that let's go and change the country, let's break the country, let's get independence, let's do other things. It's like that boxer from the street who has never entered the ring before. He has never even entered the training ground before, but he's strong. That strength is having muscles. So that muscle that he has is an example of zeal, enthusiasm. So he's passionate, he's determined, he's aggressive. I will beat you now. I will beat you now. I'll beat you now. And he has the muscles. And you know what? But the person who is a professional, he might not have those muscles, but he has tactics. He has knowledge. He has strategy. I've seen that kind of fight many times. I have seen that kind of fight many times. It's like one just happened now. Fury and Wilder. So, I've seen those kind of things many times. But these are two professionals. But the level, one is a boxer, one is a banger. Okay, so the level, the skills, it is skills that win fight, not power. Wow. So it's like in our situation, when you have a lot of enthusiasm, independence, we have it now, we want it now. Emotions. Emotions don't win fight though. It is tactics, strategy, skills. So what happened to us? So that kind of boxer now, who has the muscle and the something, but never been to the something, is not a professional. So when reality hits him, that enthusiasm he had in the beginning, that faith, it doesn't help again. Cynicism will come in very fast. You want to know the source of cynicism? That's the source. You want they punch you, boom, boom, boom. And from the upper one, and you are just good, you are missing. You are coming with enthusiasm, boom. The guy will just bend. You miss. Before you come out, it goes, you boom. And you come with another 2 cents, you run. You just run, and you read, boom. And you hit the other, you say, if 2 cents, you will not do, and the ring is already there, you cannot run it.
You can't run it.
You can't run it.
Yeah.
So your enthusiasm and your power, everything will just disappear. You will be surprised.
Wow. Well, welcome back, viewers. I hope you got a lesson and also had a good laughter with Dr. Sunday's explanation, and it was quite an interesting time. I have Dr. Sunday with me here in the studio. Good evening, Dr. Sunday.
Yeah, good evening. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm great. I'm excited to be here, and I don't know. I can't control my cheeks. It's just like wide spread because of the last video we just watched, and you explaining with the boxing
Analogy.
Yeah. But I think it will definitely give a good picture. It's difficult to forget with those kind of analogies.
Mm-hmm.
If you just remember the demonstration and all of that, you understand, oh, okay, this is the root cause of cynicism. A boxer or someone who doesn't know how to box goes into the boxing ring
With a professional.
Then his enthusiasm will immediately turn to cynicism. Well, that was an amazing time. For our viewers who missed the last episode, and if you want to get a full episode, the way to do that is to go to Dr. Sunday's YouTube channel. That is Dr. Sunday Adelaja. And just search for Fixing Nigeria. You're going to see the playlist that has all of our previous episodes on Fixing Nigeria. And I'm sure you're going to have a great time listening to all of our discussions on different areas. But today we are speaking on another topic that is addressing our culture. Dr. Sunday, let me start before we even get into the topic. Why is it important to address the culture of a nation?
Well, it's because the culture defines the lifestyle. And the lifestyle is how people live, what they do on a daily basis. So if you want the lifestyle of your people to be righteous lifestyle, then the culture has to reflect righteousness. If you want the lifestyle of the people to be ungodly lifestyle or evil lifestyle, then you can live the culture as to be evil. And so, the culture must be adjusted if you want people's behavior to change.
Amazing. Thank you very much, sir. But the interesting thing about this word culture is that the association with the word culture is with dancing and singing and maybe some attires, just things along that line. But we are talking about consumerism culture. And I want to believe some Nigerians will understand the reason why we are using the word culture for consumerism. During the introduction of the program, I started by saying that I know that the consumerism as a phenomenon is not peculiar to Nigeria. I know it's something that is in Africa, it's all over the world. So I would like us to start today's discussion maybe on a historical note, just to go back to history. Where did this consumerism start? Has it always been like that from the beginning of the days, or was it at a point that consumerism took over the culture and the order of the day?
Are you talking of generally all over the world
generally,
or in Nigeria?
Generally first, and then we'll come to Nigeria specifics.
Yeah, generally there is an understanding of the root. It's easy to understand the root of consumerism because we are all men that are made of flesh and blood. And because we are made of flesh and blood, we have the desire of the flesh, we have the desire and the lust of the eyes, and we have the natural pride of life that everybody possesses. So consumerism answers to those things. Consumerism is short-term solution to the carnal need of man. To the carnal need of man. And also it is, the carnal flesh of the man is insatiable. So the insatiability of man's carnality, or the insatiability of the man's flesh, craves for more all the time. And that craving for more, that insatiability, is now what is supplied or answered to by consumerism.
Awesome. Great. So it's because of our flesh,
Yes.
the flesh needs.
Yes.
All right. That's on a general note. Now let's come to Nigeria. When did it? I don't know. Since it's a flesh thing, of course, Nigerians we are not spirits. We are also human beings with these same desires. But I want to know if there was a time, or if there was a peculiar period, a particular period where this became a culture of the day or the order of the day in Nigeria.
Well, before independence, when our people were more primitive, there were a lot of things that were put in place like taboos. And so those taboos and cultural practices limited the excesses of the flesh. And they limited the excesses of consumerism. But with the advent of capitalism and the introduction of Western form of liberty, where everything is allowed, and when people live in megapolises, so the influence of the culture reduces on ordinary people. It's because people don't recognize you anymore because you are living in cities, you are no more living in villages, and anybody can do anything without anybody even knowing him, talk less of asking for repercussion for what he has done. So yeah, that would be the explanation for the excessiveness of consumerism in our culture.
Great. Well, thank you, Dr. Sunday. So this is going to be a lot of questions, as usual. Now let's speaking on the subject of consumerism. How does this culture affect a nation? Let's just put it like that. How does consumerism affect a nation? A nation's either progress or regression, development or backwardness?
No, consumerism cannot bring development or progress. It's the opposite. Consumerism is, the evil of consumerism is that it influences the mindset of a people. Mindset, the worldview, and the paradigm of a people. So the paradigm that consumerism produces is such that it diminishes work. It diminishes the dignity of labor. It diminishes and downplays diligence, such that the only thing that you begin to look at will be the end result of your personal individual gratification. So it increases the desire to consume without working for it, without laboring for it. And when you begin to consume without working for it, without laboring for it, then it will lead to poverty. Because no matter the amount of things that you have to consume, when everybody is only consuming and they are not producing, that amount of goods that is there to be consumed will finish or it will diminish. And when that goes down, it means there will be poverty in the land. So it leads to poverty, it leads to lack, it leads to to a low standard of living. It doesn't lead to progress, it leads to regression. It doesn't lead to development, it leads to backwardness. So that's number one. That country that is consumed and is taken away by consumerism without a balance of labor and the place of work, hard work, dignity of labor, that country will be not just backward, but it will be a country of poor people and a country that is living in hunger. And then there will be a country of unskilled people, because since you are only focusing on consumerism, what to eat and how to eat, you will not have time to develop your skills. So there will be people who are unskilled, people who are unprofessional, people who are, not striving to do things in the best way. So it will also be a society of low values and low quality of production, because they are more concerned about what they will get rather than the quality of the product. So they are more concerned about selling something anyhow, fast, rather than producing the best quality to bring satisfaction to other people. So there'll be a lot of fake in that kind of society, and there will also be a lot of deception, a lot of fraud, because people live in a society where consumerism is at the top of the agenda. People live by the slogan that the end justifies the means. So they just want to get, the end for them is to consume. And that means that the means doesn't matter. So the means they could get, to be rich at all point. So to be rich, they might want to be rich without paying the price for it, without, since the means doesn't matter, they will carry drugs, they will abuse other people, they will take advantage of other people, they will rob people, they will defraud people, because they know that once they're able to get what they need, there will be satisfaction for them and people will recognize them. So too much evil is connected to consumerism.
Wow. I mean, without mincing words, I feel like your explanation just described Nigeria. I think what you were just describing is just Nigeria. I don't know if some other nationals are here and they might feel the same too about their country, that, oh, this is the description of my own country, but at least I know Nigeria. And I know that what you just described and the evil consequences of the consumerism culture, all of it is prevalent in Nigeria. It's obvious. I mean, but the question I want to, as a follow-up to your answer, is when we speak about poverty, in Nigeria, most people in Nigeria are already poor. So I want to know what leads to what. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to ask this question because of this. There's a book of yours that says, do not buy what you don't need, do not spend the money you don't have to buy what you don't need to impress people who don't care. Right? So now, someone who doesn't have money is, if you say don't spend the money that you don't have, so like you don't have the money, you're poor. But the end of this statement saying trying to impress people who don't care is something that is very prevalent in Nigeria. You get little money, you want to buy a good car because you want to impress people. You want to show that you're not at the,
you have arrived.
Yeah, you've arrived. You're not at the bottom level. So my question is it poverty mindset or poverty in itself that leads to consumerism, or is it consumerism itself that causes poverty in people? I don't know if you get
it is neither one or the other.
Okay.
Consumerism is a mindset.
Yeah.
So consumerism is connected to value system, to mindset, to worldview, and to the virtues of the people, rather than to the things you are talking about, consumerism or poverty. Those things are what are now coming from outside. Mm-hmm. So things don't start from outside inside. Things start from inside outside. So consumerism itself is something that is already outside. That is the result, the consequences. But what leads to that are values or lack of values and virtues. So the same thing with poverty. Poverty is something that is outside. They don't cause things. They just, it's an effect. It's not a cause, it's an effect. Yeah. Same with consumerism. It's not a cause, it's an effect.
Beautiful. Yeah.
The cause is always in virtues and values. Or lack of them.
Lack of the right ones. Great. Well, let me speak to our viewers who are viewing with us. This book you can see on the screen is one book that you, I mean, if you're living in the 21st century, in this world where advertisement is on its peak and people are trying to impress and trying to just show that they have some sort of money, you want to get this book to set yourself free from the pressure of our day. The title of this book is Do Not Spend the Money You Do Not Have to Buy What You Do Not Need to Impress People Who Do Not Care. I mean, what a book. You want to get this book for yourself, you want to get it for your spouse, you want to get it for your children, you want to get it for your friends and even for your enemies. Everybody has to read this book, you know. So the way to get this book is you can get it for free if you are an Amazon Kindle Unlimited subscriber. And if you're in Nigeria, you want to order this book, you can order the book on dsabooksplanet.com. dsabooksplanet.com. The other book I would like to quickly announce is this interesting one. Don't eat tomorrow's food today. Don't eat tomorrow's food today. Of course, these books are in connection with our discussion of today on the subject of consumerism. And this book is titled once again, Don't Eat Tomorrow's Food Today. Like I said with the previous book, you can get this book on Amazon Kindle Unlimited, or you can order for it on Amazon, or you can get it on dsabooksplanet.com. Continuing on the subject of consumerism, one thing that I have noticed myself is that I think maybe I'm going to confirm with Dr. Sunday now, but I feel like maybe the lack of accurate knowledge of the essence and value of life has some sort of connection with people just wanting to have, because I feel like people seek for meaning, or they seek for relevance by the acquisition of things. I don't know if my thought process is right, and that's what.
Yes, if you read my book, The Essence and Value of Life, it talks about the misunderstanding of people about life. So consumerism is a form of manifestation of that misunderstanding. In that book, I said that life is not supposed to be about the pursuit of things. So life is not supposed to be about the pursuit, WWP. Life is not supposed to be about pursuit of wealth. Life is not supposed to be about the pursuit of wisdom. And life is not supposed to be about the pursuit of power. But real life, on the other hand, is all about those things. In what we see on a daily basis in life is that everybody is pursuing exactly those three things. And that is not what life is supposed to be about. So it's a misconception about life. And most people who don't understand life, who don't have the knowledge of life, they abuse life, and they become delusional about life. And one strong delusion about life is that you need to make the best from life. You need to enjoy your life, and that life is about what to eat, what to drink, and what to wear. So that is consumerism itself, which is a manifestation of lack of understanding or misunderstanding of life, of the essence and value of life.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. I don't know if you would like to, on this show, in this episode, help people who are listening to have an understanding of the essence and value of life? I know there's a book, and I know you cannot give the whole answer in just a short time, but at least for our audience who are listening to us today, maybe encapsulate it.
Jesus said it and said that do not seek after these things, because these are the things that the Gentiles seek after: what to eat, what to drink, and what to wear.
Yeah.
So Jesus is trying to tell us that life is not about these things. And he even goes ahead to say in Matthew 6:25, he says that life is not about these things, or life is more than these things. So life is more than what to eat, life is more than what to drink, life is more than where to live or what to wear. Life is more than material things that you need to consume. So what is life therefore? Life therefore is about, he says, seek ye therefore. Life is about the knowledge of life, of the Creator, who is the author of life. Seek ye therefore the King. Seek ye therefore to know him and be like him. And seek ye the expansion of his kingdom, his dominion. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. So life is about the King. Life is about God, about knowing God. Life is about the expansion and the increase of the qualities of God, the characteristics of God. Life is about love. Life is about justice. Life is about kindness. Life is about things that emanate from the Father. And these things that emanate from the Father, like love, like kindness, like justice, are all manifestation of the essence of God himself. So when you get to know the essence of God himself, the essence of God, you will discover life, because God created life. So whatever you create is an expression of yourself. So let's say I wrote a book. It's an expression of what I know. Let's say I draw a painting. It is an expression of what is in my mind. So whatever you make and create is an expression of yourself. So life itself is an expression of God. So how do you know life? Without knowing the author of life. So to know life, therefore, is to know who that life is expressing. To know the essence of life. And to know the essence of life is to know the creator of life. So, and since the creator of life is love, so life is about love. Since the creator of life is kindness, life is about kindness. Since the creator of life is about justice, life is about justice. Since the creator of life is about truth, life is about truth. So these are the things that life is all about.
Wow, awesome. I mean, something peculiar about you is how you are able to bring the understanding of God and life, and how these two can impact, it can impact our world today. I mean, it can impact nations, Just like you always say in you sign out for the love of God, church, and nation. And I see how your understanding of God brings a firm understanding of life, and that also can be translated to many of the materials you've produced that has to do with national development. Now, I want to speak about Christianity now, and the role of Christianity in abating this consumerism culture. What is the role of Christianity with consumerism culture and what we're talking about today?
Christianity is supposed to be a religion that is the embodiment of who Christ is. But when we talk about Christianity these days, it's not always as follows. Yeah. It doesn't always reflect the embodiment of who Christ is. Mm-hmm. But if we are going to talk about Christianity as with the way it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be the embodiment of who Christ is. And the embodiment of who Christ is, the totality of who Christ is the totality of his values and the totality of his person. So if you look at the person of Christ, is Christianity manifesting the person of Christ and the values and the truth of Christ? So if Christ, for example, says that life is more than what to eat. And he said, don't seek after those things. So that's what Christianity is supposed to be practicing.
That's what they're meant to be propagating.
Huh?
That's what you're meant to be practicing and propagating.
That's what we're supposed to be practicing and propagating.
Yeah.
Though are we? I'm not sure. So if what we are doing is not reflecting what Christ stands for and what is the essence of Christ himself. So what do you call Christianity? But if you are really talking about how Christianity is supposed to be, Christianity is supposed to be the opposite of consumerism. Because Christianity says that you shouldn't look for these things. You shouldn't bother yourself. Don't worry about these things. But consumerism itself is all about those things. So Christianity goes to the opposite direction of where consumerism is. And that's why Christianity will say, take up your cross and follow him. Let your life reflect him. Let your life be embodiment of what he stands for. And so he says you have to, if you want to follow him or become a Christian, then you have to be willing to turn your back at those things. Not just even the material things only, but everything that you are attached to, even to your parents and your relatives and your family and anything that is enticing you. So, but he says if you will live and sacrifice those things and live, your house or your land or your car or your whatever for his sake, you have to trust him that he will give you much, much more in this world and in the world to come. So, but turning your back to those things at first is to show that you are not living for those things. Those things are not the priority of your life. They are not the things that guide you, that lead you. They are not your motivation. But that Christ becomes your motivation. God becomes the desire to become like God, to reflect Christ becomes your motivation. Once he is your motivation and you are imbibed and you are connected and you are, you are attached to him, then it is impossible to be attached to other things. Then other things will then follow you because you have been detached from them. Then they can easily follow you now.
Wow. So you always say, Dr. Sunday, thank you for your response, that there is no Christianity in Nigeria. And many people, they argue with you or they abuse you that, no, how would you say there is no Christianity in Nigeria when we have the Adeboyes of this world, the Oyedepo's and all of that. Now, with your explanation on the values that Christianity should uphold and live by, will we say, or will it be right to say that Nigeria as it is, and many of the woes that has befallen Nigeria, is as a result of the failure of the right understanding and practice of Christianity, or as a result of the kind of Christianity that is practiced today in Nigeria?
Yeah, definitely. If the right Christianity has been practiced in Nigeria, that Christianity would have tamed consumerism. But it is greed that is being practiced in Nigeria today, and it's called Christianity. Greed is the synonym to consumerism. See, the essence of what we call Christianity in Nigeria and the church, especially the charismatic, the Pentecostal churches in Nigeria, is the old, you can use another word for them. What they practice is not Christianity, it is greed.
Wow.
Greed is the instrument of mammon.
Wow.
It is one of the manifestation of mammon. So what they are really practicing and living for is they are worshippers of mammon, not worshippers of God. So it is not Christianity they are practicing, it is mammonism they are practicing.
Wow. Well, that is a big one right there. So what we're practicing in Nigeria is mammonism, not Christianity.
Yeah.
Because it's all about greed, wanting to gain something for yourself and all of that. So the church is championing
greed.
The
qualities of the kingdom of darkness. The church in Nigeria, most of the churches in Nigeria, they are representatives, and they are living for things of the other kingdom.
But Pastor, isn't that terrible too? I mean, just the
That is what led me to begin to do what I started to do, to start the campaign, because people might not see the horror of the Christianity that's been practiced in Nigeria, so they are comfortable with it because they don't see. They are blind. The blind is leading the blind. But when I am able to see the difference, and I see that what they are calling Christianity is actually the full-fledged kingdom of Mammon or kingdom of Satan, that's what made me to, you cannot sit that and keep quiet. That's what made me to begin to raise my voice.
And to speak against.
Yeah. If your sight, for example, let's say you have a very bad sight, even though you have eyes, but you cannot see details. You can see images that people, like somebody is there or there is a tree. But you will not be able to see that the room is dirty. I remember when I used to go and see some relatives of mine who are old women, they could still see who came, somebody came, but their place is always dirty. But when I was younger than that, and they were also younger, I remember that these people were very, very clean, and they were, always very careful about tidiness. But when they became old, they couldn't see anything, and nobody to help them. The whole place was just full of dirt and garbage. And so because you cannot see. So people are living in Nigeria, going to churches because they are blind or they have bad sight, but they think they are okay. So they don't see the difference.
Wow. So light. And I remember one of your lessons that I learned, and you said light is equals to knowledge, understanding, and darkness is ignorance. So the ignorance that has befallen the church and that has already spread to the whole nation is what has led to the darkness of our nation. And that's why we won't call the dark
continent.
The dark continent, because of this ignorance and wrong understanding of what we're doing. But before I ask the next question, Dr. Sunday, I would like to speak to our viewers who are watching. I want to guess that some of you have some questions to ask us, or you have some contributions to make, or you want to share your thoughts. You can start registering actually your thoughts now, or registering your intent actually to make a call. You can start registering your intent by going to Move Agent. That is on Facebook Messenger. So just search for Move Agent, one word, Move Agent on Messenger, and then write to us that you would like to call. And when it is time for us to receive calls, would inform you. We will call you actually. So you can start registering your intent to call. The books I announced earlier, I would like to re-announce them. These books are connected to the topic of today. And the first book you can see there is Don't Eat Tomorrow's Food Today. Don't eat tomorrow's food today. These are books that will help you as an individual, help your family, help just everyone. These are all financial principles, really, that can help anyone become financially free, financially independent. These are core values that you want to learn. So don't eat your tomorrow's food today, so you won't be hungry tomorrow, all right? Then the other book I want us to see is the book titled Don't Spend the Money You Don't Have to Buy What You Do Not Need to Impress People Who Do Not Care. The title of this book is so interesting. I can't just say words, because the more I say, the more I'm telling myself too. The more I'm making myself fortified with this truth here, that do not spend the money that you do not have, all right, to buy what you do not need, to impress people who do not care. You can get this book on Amazon Kindle Unlimited if you're a subscriber for free, or you could order for the book on dsabooksplanet.com. What about the other book? I don't know if you can show us on the essence and the value of life. That book, I mean, you don't want to go through life.
The essence and value of life.
Yeah, this is about like you don't want to go through life without reading that book. You know, you regret that you actually. I like the way you put it in. I don't know if it was in this book that one of the greatest tragedy in life is to possess life and not understand its essence. So imagine you have the greatest treasure, the greatest gift ever, and that is life itself. And that life, that very life you have, you don't know the essence of that life. What a misery, what a tragedy that would be. So this book is a book that you want to get, really. I'm going to push for that you do all that you can to get this book. Read it. It's for you to have an understanding of life. It will change your paradigm. It will change your old view of life. Life will become new to you. So that's the book right there. The essence and value of life. The essence and value of life. So please do well to get this book, and we'll continue our discussion on Nigeria and the consumerism culture. Back to you, Dr. Sunday. I want us to now speak about how the elites, you know, because many of our conversations, I always bring the elites into our conversations, and it's because I know, maybe because I read your book anyways. I read your book titled The Role of Elites in National Transformation. So I always like to ask questions about the elites because I know that there is a responsibility that God has given to every elite in every nation to help bring that nation to where God has designed for it and to where that nation is meant to be. Now, many of the elites in Nigeria have the means, right? They can afford to buy things because they have the money to spend. But many times, the people who are people will refer to as the masses, they look at these elites and look at the way they live, and they want to emulate their lifestyle. You know, they want to be, if they can't even get the Porsche car, at least let them get a Mr. Bushy or let them get a Camry. So I'm saying this to ask the question on what the elites are meant to do, you know, in eradicating the consumerism culture. We already know the evil of this culture. So we want to know the elites who are in Nigeria right now, and it doesn't matter what area they are, either they are political elites or they are educational elites or they are economical elites or spiritual elites, all elites in Nigeria, what is their responsibility in eradicating the consumerism culture in our nation?
No, right now, our elites are used to flaunting their wealth.
That's right.
And they just make a show of what they have. What they need to do is to rather downplay their wealth and their purchases and possessions. They need to downplay that, and instead of flaunting their possession and wealth everywhere, they're supposed to rather flaunt the processes that led to that possession. They are supposed to rather be showcasing the processes, showcasing the process of production. They're supposed to be showcasing the sacrifice, the values, and the virtues that they possess that led them to acquiring those possessions. So if they will change the priority, if they will change the places and begin to talk more about what are the qualities, thanks to what skills that they now have what they have, and they are going to downplay what they have and going to talk more about the qualities, the characteristics, and the skills and the virtues that led them to, that helped them to have what they have, then things will really change. It will help to change the mindset, the psychology, and the value system of the whole country as a whole.
Well, thank you, Dr. Sunday. And I just wish that, sometimes it just stops there anyways. We just wish that people are listening. But we understand the strategy behind what we're doing, so we'll keep on doing what we need to do. I always like when you say that what people do with what you do is not your business. Yours is just to fulfill your own responsibility. God, I've done it. I've said it. I've done what I have to do. This is what I am meant to do. I've done it. Whatever happens, whatever they do with it is left to them. So that's how I feel too many times when we are having discussions, this kind of discussions that as regards Nigeria, and not just on fixing Nigeria, but I don't know if people are aware that you also have other playlists like My Charge to Nigerians, where you're talking about Nigeria and you're giving concrete solutions, addressing issues and preferring practical answers to the issues that have befallen our nation, and that people are just groping in the dark. Only if they know that there's light, Only if they know that there is light and there's an opportunity for them to gain an understanding of what to do with the current situation in Nigeria. The next question I want to ask, quite related to our subject of today, the consumerism culture, is in Nigeria, because I was in Nigeria too last year, and one of the things that I realized is that many Nigerians are oblivious to many of these things that we talk about. For example, if you go to Nigeria and you're speaking to them about the consumerism culture, they're not going to agree with you, They're going to tell you many other reasons why Nigeria is where it is today than why consumerism culture is one of our greatest downfalls. How do we help Nigerians? This question is just an open-end question. How do we help Nigerians realize and come to terms with the fact that this culture of wanting to have and wanting to get things and just wanting to acquire things is the cause of their tragedy and their poverty, and not just their own poverty, but even the poverty of the nation? How do we bring them? How do we bring them in to understand what we're saying?
Well, the Bible says that my people perish for lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
So darkness is what is killing our people, or they know the wrong knowledge, or they think they know, but they really don't know. And that is the kind of ignorance that kills, when you reject knowledge. That is the one that is most dangerous, the level of ignorance. So I will still say, how do we help? By having more people show the right example. First of all, to talk about it. Secondly, to demonstrate it. And thirdly, to permeate it to the whole society. To make sure that we use propagation and legislation to inculcate and to cement these values in the subconsciousness of our people and in all these the departments and spheres of life of our country.
Wow, awesome. I remember we've had conversations on how these values can be propagated, and I mean the different spheres, from the family to the educational sphere to the media to entertainment, civil societies, and all of that. And one of the things that I see, because this is what I'm passionate about, anytime I'm fixing Nigeria, is like I'm preparing
for your future.
For my future. That's how it is for me. Like I'm preparing for my future, trying to understand the psychology of Nigerians, trying to understand the root cause of our problems, the faulty mindsets that we have, and how we can, perform a surgery on their mind, how we can help them. I mean, because, God has given us the power of choice. He has given us the ability to make choices, and with that, people choose whatever they want to believe. They choose whatever they want to agree with, and I mean, you can't stop people from making their choices. But when we see the reality of things on ground, and we see that what is happening in Nigeria is an effect of the wrong and faulty value systems that we have. I mean, it's just imperative that we have crusaders, and we have people who are, passionate, and people who have that desire to bring not the kind of revolution that our brother was trying to bring, but to bring an ethical revolution, to bring a value system revolution, where we're championing this cause everywhere. People can't just escape it. As they're going to school, they're hearing it. In their houses, they're listening to these values. They turn on the television, they're having different programs addressing core values. They listen to the songs that are being produced, and the songs are promoting the right values. They watch the Nollywood movies, and they're able to deduce some good values in those movies. I mean, just everywhere they go to, they're just bombarded left, right, center by values. This is the only way that is predictable that can lead to national development. This is the only way that our people's minds can be transformed. This is the only way that we can move towards development and towards civilization. But like you said, when there is darkness, I think it's just the responsibility of those who have light to bring the light. And that's why, Jesus is so true. I said, you cannot have a candle and put it under a bushel, under the table. It's the responsibility of people who have light to take the light into darkness and shine forth the light, bring understanding, bring knowledge to people. I said all of this to say to our viewers who are watching, many of us don't even understand how blessed we are to listen to these kind of discussions. Jesus said it to his disciples at some point, and he said, blessed are your ears for, listening to these kind of things that you're listening to, and blessed are your eyes to actually see these things. And and this is because many of the things that are being discussed on Dr. Sunday's platform, on this program and many other programs, you hardly hear them discussed in places. You hardly hear them. That's even if you hear anything like it. And so there's a responsibility that comes with listening to Dr. Sunday, and there's a responsibility that comes with receiving this knowledge and receiving this understanding. And the responsibility is for us to be channels of light, to be torch bearers, to be lighthouses, to shed the light to people around us. Let it start with your family. From your family, then it can spread to your places of work, then it can spread to your society, to your environment, and then you can begin to also fulfill your own calling and your purpose, discovering the sphere of influence that God has called you into, and then going to propagate these values to bring transformation to our nation as a whole. So I'm just addressing everyone listening to us that the onus is on us to really bring this truth and these lights that we are receiving here, and to share it to the world for them to also experience light. For those of you who are listening to us right now and you would like to contribute to today's discussion, the line is open right now. You can write to us informing us that you would like to call. We'll be happy to hear from you. We'll be happy to hear your thoughts, to hear your contributions, and to get your feelings, your emotions, what is going on in your mind, what do you have to share with us. The way to do that is to go to Facebook Messenger, and search for Move Agents, Madik. So Move Agents. But Move Agents is one. And then write to us that you would like to call, and we'll be happy to receive your call. Right? I would like to ask Dr. Sunday. Dr. Sunday, on the subject of consumerism culture and what we've been talking today, I don't know if there's something you would like to add to it. I just feel like to ask you. Maybe I'm not the right question.
Yes, I just took my iPad now because there is something I was talking about on reconstructing Nigeria.
Okay.
And my challenge to Nigeria that I think might become handy here.
Beautiful.
Okay, I read somewhere in the internet about the people who are building Nigeria. That's what happens to a country that is possessed and obsessed with consumerism. You know, your people become impotent professionally. You become incompetent, and they become, so every little money that you even make as a country, you end up using it to sponsor and to feed other people. For example, look at the people who are building Nigeria. Even the little building that is going on right now, who are the people constructing it, responsible for it? Abuja Itakwe Road, railway with China. Railway, Abuja Itakwe Rail, all railway Nigeria is being built by China. Lagos Ibadan Railway is China. Ajaokuta Steel is Russia. Rail modernization, it is Russia. Military procurement, it is Russia. Refineries, it is Saudi Arabia. Fertilizer, it is Morocco. Electricity and roads, it is Germany. Germans. So all this is the country. Everything that is being constructed, that has been done, we are giving money to people. So the little money that we are supposed to be using to feed our people, why we cannot feed our people? Because the little money that is coming on in, we have to give again back because we don't have, our people are only consumers. Even the little unskilled labors like laying towels, or water fixing water, what they call that, plumbing, and things like that. They are also foreigners who are doing them. So we would never be able to retain our wealth, and we will never even have enough to be able to feed ourselves that way.
Wow. So true. And it brings to mind one of your books I read, Why Does God Take from Those Who Do Not Have and Gives to Those
Who Have?
Who have. And that's really, look at all the nations you mentioned there, from China to Russia to Germany.
To Togo, to Benin Republic, or Cameroon, all of them are coming and it's taking over what we are supposed to possess.
And we have people who
no, we have population. Our population is 200. We are supposed to be the one feeding, producing all those things in other nations. But we have been rendered impotent and paralyzed because of wrong value system, because we cannot perform, we cannot do anything right.
Wow. I mean, raw truths. And I think that's the change that we must bring. That's the new paradigms that we must bring to our country. All right, so we're ready to receive our callers. For those who want to contribute, now is the time to share your thoughts, to share your contributions. The way to do that is to go to Facebook Messenger and search for Move Agent on Facebook Messenger, and then write to us. Let us hear from you. Let's hear your thoughts. Let's hear what you have to say about the subject of today, Nigeria and the consumerism culture. All right. So we're going to receive our first caller now, and we're going to hear what they have to say. So these books are available. The books you can see on the screen. They are available on Amazon Kindle Unlimited for free. You can get them. That is Don't Eat Tomorrow's Food Today. Okay, we have a caller right now. Hello, caller. Good evening.
Yes, welcome. Who is speaking, please?
My name is Tope. I'm speaking from Atlanta.
Tope?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. It's been a while.
Dr. Sunday, it has been a while. I've been trying to put some things in place. So I've been very, very, very busy. But
I know you went to Nigeria as well.
Yeah, I went to Nigeria, and I think that one also changed the dynamics of my thinking and what I think I can do as a person in that country. You know, like let me start with what you said about if there's Christianity in Nigeria or there's no Christianity in Nigeria.
Okay.
You know, I've come to the conclusion that there is no Christianity in Nigeria for so many obvious reasons. We don't need to deceive ourselves, but people are used to deceiving themselves. That has been their part of their life. That's what they grew up to know. That it has been part of their blood, water, and that's part of their bone. That's what they are used to.
Yeah.
So for someone to just come to change it overnight, it is very, very difficult. I was listening to Dr. Anus the other time. He was talking about we need a serious surgical operation in the mind and heart of Nigeria. And you see, Dr. said, I believe you don't even know the how deep this problem you are trying to analyze or you are trying to confront. You don't know how deep it is in Nigeria.
Wow.
You see, even when we need this surgical operation that we were just talking on the with just saying it on the flimsy side, it's going to be a very deep. I need a professional, not just ordinary people, professionals that are trained to do it. Because you see, if you, like you said, our value system has been distorted. Our value system has been eroded. Our value system has been discarded. We don't even have any. You see, how do you build on what you don't have? You can't build on nothing. And that is the problem we have with Nigerians, especially in their mindset. You know, I told you I'm going to Nigeria the other time. I spent 1 month in Nigeria.
Wow.
I can tell you, I'm ready to confess to you that I'm totally frustrated. You can't believe it. I need to see you one-on-one to explain my ordeal and what I've gone through in the last 10 years, trying to see what I can do in Nigeria. And I think one day we're going to meet and I'm going to explain myself. You see, the problem is that, you see, when you are explaining consumerism as far as Nigeria is concerned, you know, to layman like us, we only think of, oh, maybe we use our money to just buy some things, clothes and all those, to cars and all those stuff. But now, that's why I said, this thing is more...
Your voice is fading, oh.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? I said, this thing is more deeper, like you said. All our infrastructures is being bought over by the Chinese, by the Germans, by the Europeans, by the Saudis, and like you mentioned now, the Saudis are taking charge of our refinery. You know, and the government of the day, they don't even understand the implication of this. Even the people in Nigeria themselves, they don't even understand the implication. They are just living their life. You know, when I talk to most people in Nigeria, they said they've resigned to fate. And when you see a man who has resigned his life, yes, who has resigned his life to the status quo, they feel they are impotent, they feel they cannot do anything, they cannot fight back, both in the spirit and in the physical, they cannot fight back. So they just everything is just, life itself doesn't have any meaning. There's nothing that is even pushing them to do anything. And when some of us like this go there to try to say, look, we need to change the way things are, even the best of their brain, I mean, some of them that are doctors, so not medical doctors, who has PhDs, who are in the academics, and you are trying to explain all this to them, they cannot even grasp it.
Wow.
Then they cannot even grasp it. They cannot even, you know, at least if you are explaining something to...
Your voice is gone again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
If you are explaining something to people, at least if you can give them 10 reasons why they must not continue this way, I think they're supposed to be able to grasp if only one.
Yeah.
They should supposed to at least just sit down and think about one, at least take one of it and say, okay, yeah, you may be right. But do you know that they will discard everything and we still go back to their former way of life? And that is what is also happening to them in politics. When you come with any political idea that you think can save their life, the same very people that you want to save will be the one that will stand against you and say, no, you are used to these people. These are the people that we know. These are the people that have been with us. Oh, you cannot just come one day and say you want to change. And I don't know if you guys have seen the video of Tino Melari. Have you seen that video?
Yes.
That is a typical example of consumerism in our politics. Those guys, they have access to Nigerian money. They have access to billions and billions of naira. But what do they do with it? The only thing they will do with it is to buy a house in America. They will not live in that house. So they will buy in Germany, in Europe or London, or they will go to Dubai and buy another one there. Then they will buy cars. That is the only thing they will do with the same money.
But he's complaining now that the money is not enough for him again.
Exactly, yeah. He's complaining. Can you imagine? And this is a young man. Can you imagine? This guy, this guy is supposed to be a beacon of hope in that type of darkness that we have in our polity. But see, and the same thing, this is the pattern that all of them are following. When they get to government, when they get here, that is what they will do. Because that is what they are used to. That is the lifestyle. They will put on all this babariga and this agbada, and they will be forming as if they are something. Meanwhile, the country is going seriously down the drain. They cannot salvage. I don't know how that country can be salvaged. And when you talk to them, they say, God will do it. I've been telling all of them, God is not coming to do anything. You guys are wasting your time. God will do it, God will do it, God will do it. And you are languishing in pain. You are languishing in sorrow every day. And you'll be going to this church. And the other time you mentioned the church. You see, the church is even the major contributor to the lifestyle that we are living in Nigeria. They will give you fantasy to live on, give you false hope to live on. How will a nation survive on a false hope? How will a nation survive on fantasy? How will a nation survive on that? The only way that you think you've made it in life is when you have a car and you have a house. That is that. How will a nation survive? Because the best brain in that country have left. I'm telling you, go to any ministry. Hello, are you there?
Yes.
The best brain in Nigeria, they've left, and they are contributing to the economy of America. They are contributing to the economy of Europe. They are contributing to the economy of Asia. The best brain, those that are supposed to do something, those are supposed to manage the country, and that's why you have the type of people that we have in our polity. Even the best brain are not even going to politics again. They will not, because there is no chance for them. There is no way for them. So how will a country even have any means of do I call it a breathing space, just to at least to exist? So I just feel sad. When I left Nigeria, I did one video, and that was the last video I've ever done that I did on Facebook. I just showed you at the end of the journey, because I just believe that I think I've come to the end of my journey in Nigeria, because I can see that there is no way. I know it's as if somebody is depressed. I'm seriously depressed every time I think of Nigeria, and I think that even the people there, they don't even understand what they are going through. I feel depressed in my spirit, and I'm just praying that maybe one day a savior will come. Maybe one day somebody like who has the gut, because we need a total reorientation. No, it's like those of us that grew up in Nigeria, we are used to. Let's say back when they said we are used to buying clothes, when you think you've arrived or you've gotten it made, you go and build a house. We are used to when you think you made it, you buy a new car. If there is means of buying not second hand, but you buy a car. That is what we are used to. You throw party. When you want to show everybody that you've made it in Nigeria, you throw a very big party. This is what we are used to. Hello?
Yes, yes.
This is what we are used to. So how are we going to retrace our step in that country? How are we going to retrace our? That is of major concern to me. I don't know how we will retrace our step, because everybody is consumed by everything that is wrong in that country. Everybody is consumed by it, and I don't know how we can bring ourselves out of it. But anyway, like Arno said, that you are putting all these things out, and I hope one day, like when I look at the churches, so when I started listening to you, even though I've been very skeptic about all these churches and all those things, but when I started listening to you, I don't go to church again, but when I listen to them on Facebook or on the social media, and I see the way they talk and preach, I just remember everything you said, and I laugh. I just laugh. Even when they sing in the church and they are making those noise, I just laugh, because I know most of these things they are doing in those churches, they are just empty. They are not building anybody. They are just putting people in the same spot that they were 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 15 years ago. And I hope maybe one day we'll be able to move that country forward. And thank you, Dr. Sunday, for everything you have been doing, for your consistency, for your devotion, and for putting all these messages out every time. I really appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution, Mr. Tokpe. The line is open for more contributions, more thoughts on Nigeria. Well, it's all right. It's all right. So please, to do that, you have to go to Facebook Messenger to join the conversation. Facebook Messenger, Move Agents, and write to us. You would like to contribute. Write to us. Like to contribute. It would be great to hear your contributions. We're going to receive more calls now from our viewers. And this is not only for people who are on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, you can also join the conversation. The way to do it is to go to Facebook Messenger and write to us that you want to call. That is Move Agents. We have another caller. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Dr. Anu.
Good evening.
DSA.
Good evening.
Okay, my name is Joker.
Yes. You called the last time, right?
Yes. Okay. So, yes, I did.
Yes.
So regarding today's topic, what I just wanted to say is that this track goes out to all Nigerians. I just wanted to say that these are wonderful times to live and be born in.
Yes.
Nobody is going to be responsible for your life. You must take ownership for your own life.
Yes.
And work out your salvation with fear and trembling. This is not spiritual salvation I am talking about here. This is physical salvation. Our people need to wake up. This idea of not using common sense has to stop. We must use common sense in every facet of our lives. Nobody is coming to save you. You have the onus to save yourself.
Yes.
Wisdom is out there on the streets, on the internet.
Crime.
Avail yourself of financial principles. And I agree that, the culture of consumerism is very high in most parts of the world, and even in Nigeria here, where every weekend we are in one bear party or the other, or buying a shoibi or doing this. Those things are really, really irrelevant. We should be focusing on long-term gains rather than on short-term gains. For instance, let me give you an example. 2 years ago, the federal government brought out a bond, a sukuk bond, at the going rate of 15.743%.
Okay.
So I had some friends who, had excess funds and didn't know what to do with their funds. So I sent out the link to them and told them, oh, you can invest in this, and make good use of the time that you have to recoup, to make good gains on your principal. And the most funniest thing was that to everyone I sent this link to, apart from my family, which we invested in this sukuk bond, every one of them said, oh, you mean you are one of those people who invest in this Islamic thing? I was surprised. I'm like, why would you not want to invest in something that is beneficial? The country is using the funds, to build infrastructure, and then you turn around and say, oh, because it's an Islamic thing, that you do not want to invest in it, that you'd rather spend the money on something, frivolous. So the way we think and the way we apply native wisdom, let me just call it native wisdom, to life issues is really surprising in this part of the world. And we need to stop this going forward. It's really sad. And I was listening to what Mr. Tope was saying about our politicians and the Dino Melaye thingy. I think what he also needs to understand is that most of these politicians have not had the opportunity. They don't even know how to create wealth. If you do not know how to create wealth, you will continuously be a slave to consumerism. So you must first learn the principle of creating wealth. Until you have learned the principles and laws of money, and you have learned how to convert it to wealth, then that is when you can become a proper manager of money and finances. Without that, we are not going anywhere as a nation. That's my contribution for tonight. Thank you so much, DSA. And
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for your contribution. Yep. Speaking of Nigeria, I was trying to look up where, like, the data on the saving, on the level of national savings, and where
it's in that book that you just showed now. Don't eat tomorrow's
food today. Don't eat tomorrow's food today.
Yes.
Yeah. So I wanted to get the link, like, to just show people back, but I couldn't find it anyways. But I know that Nigeria is one of the least ranking nations
when it comes to saving
culture. Yeah, and of course that's like the downfall. Yeah, of the consumerism culture. We have another caller. All right. Good evening, caller.
Good evening. This is Sheye Kundayo. Good evening, Pastor Sunday.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Yeah. Dr. Anu, good evening also.
So the name sounds very familiar.
The name?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's always there.
I just sent, Pastor Sunday just replied my email. I sent an email like a week or 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
So Pastor Sunday just replied.
Yeah. Nice to hear your voice today.
Pastor, I'm so thrilled and I'm so excited to call in. And I would like to make some contribution and just to say thank you for what you're doing. You're doing a great job. And I want to...
Where are you based in?
I'm in Chicago.
Okay.
I'm in Chicago.
Yeah.
So, Pastor, you've been talking about this thing of value. I really never knew that this value thing also affects me. It went deeply inside of me. It is when I started listening to your message, then I started to see the reason why I do the things I do. Like, there's this thing that they say in Nigeria, and it's about more way.
Yes.
This thing, I did not know that it's always, because I always felt like the result is the most important thing. As long as you get the result, that is what is important. But when I started listening to Dr. Sunday and I read the book, Success System and all that, I realized that this process is important.
Yes.
Even more than the result.
Yes.
And so when I write professional exams, most of the time here, I always try to look for something that will make me just pass the exam, just pass anyway. But now I did an exam yesterday. Even before me going into the exam hall, I knew I was going to pass it.
Wow.
Because I've been reading Pastor's book, and so I knew. So, and Pastor, and this is your book, You Have to Urgently Become a Workaholic. You said that the great people go through the highway. So this time I will decide to go through the highway. And I know that this thing is not affecting me alone. It's affecting most of Nigerian youth. We are not delaying gratification. We want it right now, or we want the result. As long as I make the money, it doesn't matter how I make the money. This thing I'm telling you, Pastor, even my parents, because this value, I got it from them. It's not like I just came up with it by myself. Even though I've been a Christian for a long time, I'm a tongue-speaking guy, everybody knows me, but this thing called value that Dr. Sunday has been talking about, it has really gone deep. It has drilled deep inside of us that we need to pull it out. We need to change a lot of things. That is just what I have to say. That
thank you for being so truthful, and true lover.
Yeah, very truthful. because
Yeah,
he's not the only one.
It's not the only one.
Of course, of course. I think that is one thing that anyone who comes across, or not just come across, but anyone who really is ready to listen to your message, to your teachings, reading your books. I mean, that's one apparent thing that would happen in your life. You begin to question a lot of your values. Like you put it the right way. Why I do.
Why am I doing
what I'm doing? You have to question, because you're not. That's something that is not brought to you, our consciousness. If right now I'm looking at it and I'm like, how? Why didn't they make us realize that, hey, there's something that is making you act the way you act? Why did they teach us that? And why weren't they intentional about saying, we're teaching you this because we want this effect, and these values will produce these things? Those things were not brought to our consciousness, so we're just acting by default. We're not. Many things that were wrong, even with our educational system, with the family background, many things. Darkness, that's what we have in our nation. We have another caller. Hello, caller.
Hi, Dr. Anu, and hello, Pastor Sunday Adelaja. This is Davidson calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, Davidson, it's been a while.
Yes, sir. How you doing, sir?
Very good.
Yeah, I don't know where to start from. Maybe I should just let me hail you first. And thanks for doing what you're doing. And I appreciate you personally, and I believe Nigerians also do appreciate your efforts so far.
Thank you, sir.
So, yeah, on the issue of consumerism and with what we have going on in our society today, in Nigeria and by extension Africa, it's sad though that we currently have that culture. And for me, and this is just my opinion, I also feel like this necessarily has never been the way we are as a people.
Yeah.
As a black race.
Yeah.
I feel like over time we grew up being like this.
Yes.
Until this day. So because I remember that many people who actually succeeded back in the days, especially my grandfather, for example, who happened to be a diamond businessman. So who traded in diamonds and gold. So in his days back in Ghana. So he had a lot of savings before he started his business, and he did a lot of activities. He was a dedicated man in his time. So but fast forward to this generation, a lot of things have gone so wrong, and those things we cannot. When Dr. Anu mentioned the factor of value system in one of his statements. So I would give him that value to hold in his wallet, while I would take the system to address today.
Okay.
So as much as value system of course is very paramount, is something we should always emphasize on. But guess what? In every society, okay, whatever it is that is the system designed for that society is what the people will leave a value on.
Yes.
So like the American society has a system designed for them, and people leave a value on that system.
Yes.
The question you ask yourself is, what system is designed for a country like Nigeria, or any country in Africa by extension, upon which they can leave a value in their day-to-day lives? For the most part, is close to zero or even negative. So let me give you instances. Bayelsa Governor Diri, if I'm saying his name right.
That's the newly installed one.
Yes, Governor Diri actually sent a loan proposal to the House of Assembly in his own state to demand or to request for a loan of 2 point something billion, and I'll get a figure right, 2.9 billion naira loan. To do with what? To use it to buy cars.
Wow.
Yes, that's something fresh. It's just this week. It's not stale. So, to buy cars, if you want to get a loan to buy cars, you're not getting a loan to build factories. You're not getting a loan to even build infrastructure for the people. You're not getting a loan to finance agricultural projects.
Spending the money you don't have.
You're getting a loan to buy liability stuffs, to buy things that will fade with time. That is a governor, and this is what we talk about when we talk about consumerism.
Very bad.
So okay, another instance, they just approved Buhari's $22.7 billion loan. The House just approved it.
Okay.
Now, $500 million will be used to reform or rebuild or reshape NTA. See, at my age, at least I'm getting close to 40. So at my age now, I have not seen a meaningful investigative research done by NTA since I've been a Nigerian by birth.
Yeah.
So is it now they need $500 million to begin to embark on investigative research, or to begin to have digitalization of these are crazy stuffs that we cannot but talk about sometime when they come our way. Talents are wasting away in the country, and you hear every day how leaders just throw money around, fly money around, spend money unnecessarily on things that don't even matter. So, I mean, this culture of consumerism seems to be a resulting factor from the same question of systemic anomaly that we always talk about. Because at the end of the day, you would realize, there was one day you asked me a question. You were like, do we safely say that Nigeria does not exist as a country? And I was indifferent about it, to be candid. Because, just like our people will say, no be mama that go take here say teacher mama die. So, many a times we question ourselves. For the most part, when we understand the intricacies involved in systemic building the nation, then we question ourselves if African nations actually exist. I mean, comparatively, when you put things side by side with what is happening across the globe, with global politics, with developmental activities going on, how shakers and movers of the world are actually playing their games, and you see African leaders and African nations dragging their feet behind. And come to think of it, most African nations are consumers of global productivity.
Yeah.
All we do is consume. We're not adding any content by active production or active productivity. We're not adding any content into the global productive cycle. We take all the rules. You will see one man sitting in Washington and telling the Senate and the House, telling our judicial system, giving them command that you better do this or else. Because we are nobody. Because as a nation, we don't belong to the domain of authority. Why? Because we have been subjugated mentally, and that is because of our failed system. We have been subjugated mentally to that point where we always are in the consuming part of it. Now I'm putting two things together: consumerism and the consuming nature in us.
Yeah.
So these things put us below the human race. Psychologically, socially, financially, economically, to a point where those who are supposed to be on the pulpit as they are used to propagate the gospel, they are also for their pocket. They are also for flamboyant light. It's still the same factor.
Yeah.
There's no conversation you have in Nigeria that does not involve money.
Wow.
They will tell you once money is not involved, they're not in for it.
Wow.
So I feel the solution to this, I feel that until, it goes back to the system, until we are able to actually fix our system, like we always clamor for, if we don't fix that system, I don't think this culture of consumerism can be curtailed. If we don't fix our system.
Beautiful.
That's my stand about that.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Yeah. True. True words. That's why it's value system.
Yeah.
That's exactly why it is called value system. All right. So we have more callers that would like to receive their contributions. Yeah, we're having people really share some deep thoughts and solutions to the issues of Nigeria. I mean, if we can begin to think like this, if we can begin to think solutions, we can begin to think constructively, then we just need to raise a whole army of people like that will be thinking of, okay, this is what is wrong, this is the root cause, this is how we can solve it, and then people go for it. So that's where hope would come. And what we talked about last week, where faith would be restored, and then cynicism would be out of the picture. We have another caller. Good evening, caller.
Bonjour, DC, and our able host, Dr. Anojo.
Mr.
Innocent Magaji.
Magaji.
Ça va bien?
Ça va, comment allez-vous?
Ça va.
It's been a while. I was off Facebook because they suspended me.
Oh, yeah? For what?
Yeah, they suspended my account because I created some groups and public pages that had almost like 170,000 followers that I published. So I don't know, I woke up a day and I was asked to send my passport, my ID card to verify my identity if I must make political commentary and stuff like that.
Is that so?
Yes, and before I noticed, I sent everything because me I don't have anything to hide. And then they say that this thing is under study, they are studying the case. Few days later, they said my page is suspended indefinitely. Since then, I couldn't open new pages. Anytime I try to open, they block it. Anytime I try to open, it's blocked. Anytime I try to open, it's blocked. The moment I upload my picture, they just block the account.
That's what they did that to me some time back.
This is very.
And I was having 1 million people on that page.
Yes, I remember that page that was closed down completely, and you lost record of videos.
Everything.
I wanted to, in regard to this Facebook stuff, I don't know. Do you have, there's a disk right now, there is a trilobyte. I think it's almost, I think they call it, is trilobyte, 2 or 3 trilobyte of storage where you can store all the videos you make, because Facebook and YouTube are no longer reliable. They can delete one's account anytime. You upload anything they don't like, they are capable of deleting all this account. That's what I discovered right now.
Yeah, we bought that disc already.
D'accord, okay.
And we put all our stuff are having backup.
Okay. In regards to this evening subject, I just want to make very quick comments so that I'll allow other people to contribute. That was the day you were teaching. I think, I can't remember but I think it's related to finance. Mm-hmm. And that was among everything you said, I caught one lesson you said that day. Because someone asked you a question and you tried to answer the question. You said that you don't buy something you cannot afford. I can't remember exactly how you put it, but I think that was the exact statement.
Yeah.
You said you cannot spend money beyond your means.
Yeah.
And you also talked about the rules, the laws of money. You said that money is not money needs to be multiplied. You talked about the multiplication of money.
Yes.
You gave example of an individual who would take loan to buy cushion, television, to furnish their house, instead of investing into a business to multiply the money. So that is a foolish law. So that particular example was one of the lessons I held in my mind till today. In fact, recently I went out. I wanted to buy earpiece to use for my phone for communication, and I saw that is an airport. Apparently, I think it is almost like 200, almost 200 euro to buy one of those earpiece. Oh, okay. The exact statement you made is that don't buy things that you don't need. That was what you said.
Yes.
You said don't buy things that you don't need. That was exactly what you said. Say things that you don't need, don't buy them. Only buy things that you need and you think they are very necessary, and invest money in a way that it will multiply. So in regards to this consumerism culture, is something that I discover a lot among Nigerians and people who are victim of all these things. We just want to spend money a lot and not think of how to multiply. Since that, after that teaching, that was the law I had in mind. I picked that particular lesson and kept it in my mind. Don't get things that you don't need. Do I really need an earpiece? That was what I was asking myself a few days ago. I said, do I really need an earpiece? Is it a need? Is it a most wanted something? And I thought about that. I said, I have, sisters, cousins, some of them that are in school in Nigeria, some of them are even in need of money. This 200 euro will be a huge amount of money for them to use it in Africa. Why not send it to them, pay their school fees off? That is a very good investment. At least they will graduate. Some of them can even use it to feed. A lot of things. I thought about it. Let it not be mistaken from being stingy or not wanting to take care of oneself. But do I necessarily need that earpiece that I want to buy, or do I necessarily need that Timberland or Apple laptop? What would be the investment? What would be the return in this investment? So I think this is the law. People that are listening should take this in mind, that if we really need something. And then one other thing I wanted to talk about is the extravagancy among Nigerians. The way we spend without thinking, we just want to show off to other people, is something that is really, really eating our society. I was having a debate recently also about to a friend. You made mention of these refineries that are being built by foreigners and other stuff. And I tried to convince this particular friend that the Morocco agreement that Nigeria signed with Morocco about the refinery and the Dangote is being currently right now in Lagos. The MOU was possible because Buhari was a Muslim, and the King of Morocco, they had an agreement that they would supply Nigeria with phosphate directly, and they secured that MOU, and you supply Dangote with phosphate directly for fertilizer production. And then Dangote was planning to build 4,000 kilometers of sub-underground pipeline that we export natural gas from Nigeria directly to Morocco, and it will connect the entire West African countries. Morocco is just having a few kilometers away from Europe. So that was the initial agreement they did. So, and then the argument went on to discuss why Dangote is investing in Nigeria. Apparently, when he is done, he has 5 projects, and these 5 projects will employ almost 70,000 Nigerians. Right now, they have almost 40,000 Chinese people that are working, building those factories and everything. But this coronavirus made some of them not to be present, so the project is delaying. So they brought a lot of them in, and a lot of Nigerians, all of them working down, trying to complete this project. And Nigerian GDP is estimated to hit 1 trillion by the year 2030. So it will be the first African economy to hit that amount. And they say Dangote will be like 30% contributor, 40 even, in the Nigerian GDP just through this project. So it will be very, very huge, a massive contribution into the Nigerian economy. But this particular individual that came in and told me because of he belongs to this particular ethnic group that are not really, really fan of Nigeria. He started castigating the entire project and was like, no, this project is monopoly, this project is that, this project is this project is that, Dangote is this, Dangote is that, Nigeria is this. I say, look at it, look into the bright side. Yes.
They are always negative.
They are
If
always negative.
you look at it very well, there will be is it PDP they call the other? PDP members.
Yes, PDP members. And this particular man is an Igbo man.
Yes, there will be a PDP now.
Yeah, he doesn't want. He said that because since he's an outside man that is doing all this, I said, look, this is an individual that is a master in his domain. He understands the business and he's executing it perfectly. Why not give him the chance? In short, one of those refineries, they started building some gas plant right now that will supply almost like 12,000 megawatts of electricity. I said that is a huge contribution to the country. Won't you be happy when you start having? Right now we're having almost just 3,500. Won't you be happy when this thing is supplying to the national grid? And then there is another contract right now that these Buhari people they gave to Germany. I don't know if they will complete it or not. Because provision of electricity requires 3 steps: the generation, the transmission, and the distribution. So generation now, if we have 12,000, we need to be able to find a way to transmit it and distribute it. So they gave contract to one German company currently that they should build some high voltage cable all over the country, because even the electricity is there, if you don't have the means of transmitting it and distributing it, it will not go far. They just generate it and it will not be distributed. So the argument went on. He doesn't want to listen. He doesn't want to know that a lot.
That's why the Bible said, don't argue with a fool. People will not know the difference.
Yeah, so he's silent. He was silenced at the end of the day because I gave him an example of South Korea. I say all these LDE, all those big South Korean companies you're seeing, they are owned by families. All those big companies, multinational companies.
But the same thing with Japan.
Exactly, they have strong monopoly. One single company monopolizes the entire country. They are everywhere in electronics, everywhere. One single company monopolized by one single family. The father died, the son took over. One of the competent member of the family take over the company. So I said it's not Nigeria alone that is doing this thing. One single person that is capable and is providing and is working out. In short, Dangote even made a statement that after this project he wants to buy Asna. He said after Asna that in the future time he wants to be able to connect all the states in Nigeria with rail. That was what he said. And the man started shouting. He said, look at this man want to buy the entire country. I said, look at the bright side. This thing.
Is that not the way America was built?
Exactly.
There is a film about it, the men who built America.
Exactly. I gave him those examples, and that was how he kept quiet. He couldn't argue further. I gave him the example of all the 5 men. The
Morgan,
the JP Morgan, all of them. I gave him an example and he was looking at me. So I just silenced all of them. So our people need to understand that this consumerism stuff, why am I bringing an example of this Dangote stuff? Because one, that the entire industry that is being built right now in Nigeria, we bring about, they say 5 billion foreign exchange in Nigeria. So that means that if we cut off our dependency on importation, we'll no longer buy. Nigeria will become from the largest importer of fertilizer to the largest exporter of fertilizer in Africa. So we are no more consumers, but we are now producers. It will now start exporting natural gas. But these people, because they are blind with ethnocentrism, they are blind with certain prejudice, with certain biased view that they have, they just want to remain dependent. Why can't you just be happy and celebrate the fact that we will be independent, in all this, the critical, it is the matter of national security. You see, this coronavirus now is affecting a lot of supply. This innocent motor is affected right now. It can no longer produce. Why? Because most of the parts he's using are coming from China, and China has started reducing some of their supply. Some of the factories are now reducing. So now a lot of people are noticing that dependency on other countries, constant consumption of foreign stuff, of importation of things that we can nationally be able to produce them is very important. We have to be able to see that we cannot longer keep that culture of consumerism. So this is on national level. Then there are personal level where people consume, people go ahead to buy stuff that they don't need. I want you to take this lesson from DSA that don't buy things that you don't need. things that are not very necessary, that are not very critical to your life, things that will not save your life immediately. So think about wise investment, how you can use your money to multiply your money into it. So let me stop here so that other people can.
Beautiful.
Thank you so
Beautiful.
much.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Innocence, for calling. Thank you for your contribution too. He was repeating the book. Don't spend the money you don't have to buy what you don't need to impress people who do not care. Well, that's a book you want to get if you've not read it. And the other book, Don't Eat Tomorrow's Food Today. This is also another book that you want to read. Just like the one of the callers, Jake, said that you have to be responsible for yourself. Yeah, you're not going to absorb your responsibility to another person. You have to be responsible and work on yourself, work on your values, gain knowledge, and live based on the right values. That's very important. We still have some more callers, and we're going to receive them now. Do we have the caller ready? Hello, caller. Hello. Okay. I'm not sure. Hello, caller, are you there? No, maybe we'll have to call it back. I'll call him back. Okay. Well, the way to register is to go to Facebook Messenger, Move Agents, and write to us there you would like to contribute to the discussion, and we would be happy to receive from you. So Move Agents, that is on Facebook Messenger, Move Agents. All right. So we're going to get the next caller. For people who are watching us maybe for the very first time, this is Fixing Nigeria, and we come every Friday. That is 7 p.m. Kyiv time. Now 6 p.m. Nigerian time, and 5.
Is it 6 p.m. already? Okay.
Yeah, it's 6 p.m.
It was some big.
It doesn't change. Yeah, and then 5 p.m. UK time. Yeah, so you can join us every Friday. We're talking about Nigeria, and if you want to watch our previous episodes, the way to do it is to go to Dr. Sunday's YouTube channel. That is Dr. Sunday Adelaja on YouTube. Search for the playlist titled Fixing Nigeria, and you'd see all of our previous episodes where you can catch up on many of the things that we've discussed. And as you watch, it will be great if you can also share the video with your friends, your family members, Nigerians home and Nigerians that are abroad, and also Africans. Africans, we need this message. Africa needs this message. We have a caller already. Hello, caller. Good evening.
Hello, dear sir.
Yes, sir. Is that Israel Good News Balogun, no?
No. Yes,
yeah, this is not Israel Balogun.
Sounds
this
familiar.
is Matthew from Cincinnati.
Oh, Matthew. Yes. How are you, Matthew?
I'm good. It's been a while.
Yeah, thank you for calling today.
Yeah. Dr. Anu.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much for all your efforts so far.
Thank you.
Yeah. I just I've been listening to the topic of today of the discussion, and which also centers on. Actually, I'm driving now. I'm trying to park because I've actually initiated my motive of calling since, but I felt we have a lot of people on the queue, so I'm just trying to park now so that I can discuss. So, you see, the country called Nigeria is a wonderful country.
Okay.
And we are noted worldwide to be a great consumer country.
Consumer country.
And we consume anything. Nigeria is a dumping ground for all products worldwide.
Yes.
Whether good or bad. Just bring it. It goes sell. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
And What I can say is this, in as much as the mindset of the Nigerians is not focused on creativity, invention, and
Yeah.
ability to discover ourselves, we will remain a consuming nation till thy kingdom come, meaning till eternity.
Wow.
Because we have failed to put in place what, can drive what we call wealth, riches, and money. And that is a system. We have failed to, tune the mindset of our young ones to be able to discover themselves. The government is even not doing nothing about this. And without us having such a system in place to develop our potentials, to develop what in each citizen has gotten, because God will never create a failure.
Yes.
Each and every one of us, we have our unique potentials. And if we fail to build up a system via educational, curriculum, to really bring, this thing out of these people, to let people know that they should look inwards, that their wealth, their riches is inward, we will remain the country we are today.
Yeah.
I was listening to some of your videos, you are telling us that 70-year-old woman in Ukraine is inventing things. A 70-year-old, which is almost close to heaven, yet is still inventing. Is still, is still actively involved in creativity.
Yeah.
Why? Because of the mindset has been tuned. They have discovered themselves. They know what it takes to discover themselves and to bring it out. Our situation in Nigeria is not so. And the so-called churches that also need to help us to be able to, tune our mindset so that we can receive things directly from God. But the mindset is tuned to materialism. Are you getting? You see, it's a whole lot of issue. And all what we begin to hear is your language that you said, katoshka in the churches.
Yes.
Apology to some of us that are not actually following you. What is the meaning of katoshka? That's in Russia. I think you do justice with that after I drop. It means that you are not even giving us what we want. Though you are there with God. God is showing you a lot of things, but you are not, communicating that to physical realm. You are not converting it to physical realm. We are just being spiritual. Being spiritual. And that cannot help us.
Yeah.
Until the mindset is twisted to focus on the real thing. Until our mindset is shifted to focus on reality, we will continue to be what? To be a consumer nation. And some of us that are Nigerians, few of us that we have tried to really identify ourselves and come up with one invention or the other. But because
It's in the car, so I think his voice is gone.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Those things,
Yeah.
those exploits that are coming out from, they are not known. They are unknown culture.
Yeah.
Hello? Excuse me.
Yes.
Are you there, Jesse?
Yep.
Hello? Yeah, because the few young ones that have, actually identified themselves. Hello?
We're hearing you.
Hello? Okay. Yeah, let me just continue. The few ones that have actually identified themselves in area of we have a lot of them of social media. The government are not helping them. The government not helping them. So they prefer, to focus on importation goods, foreign goods. Foreign goods. Now I heard sometimes ago, probably last week or 2 weeks ago, the senators, they are now, importing, they are buying new brand new cars. Yet we have somebody in Nigeria that is producing car. We cannot patronize our own product. And that is that. We have high values for imported goods. And this will not lead us anywhere. Since independence, we have been a consuming nation. And even I'm speaking now, in fact, that is the mindset from even, let us say, 5 years old now in Nigeria. Bring something from US and another thing from, as in locally made product, place them side by side and ask that, 5-year-old boy or a girl to pick. You know what? Guess. Your guess is as good as mine. He's going to go for the foreign one.
Yeah.
And that is our mindset. Until the mindset is actually changed, focusing on what we have, getting a system to drive that, as in to bring out our potentials, building a system to bring out their educational system to bring out our potentials. We will continue to remain, in fact, to remain a consuming nation. We won't be able to produce anything.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Blessings.
Amazing. Thank you for your contribution, Mr. Matthew. People are sharing thoughts about the consumerism culture and why we need to change it urgently, why we need to change it and why Nigeria needs that transformation. We have another caller, so we're going to receive the callers who want to contribute to today's discussion.
Hello?
Yeah, I just want to make my own contribution.
Who is it?
The problem in Nigeria about consumerism, it's a very, very big problem. And
who is talking from
in
where?
The United States, that's a developed nation, you can see them having issues with China based on trade imbalance, because the jobs that were supposed to be for US citizens, the elite in the US virtually moved the jobs to China, which actually moved China forward. And when Trump came in, Trump said, no, this cannot continue because the US is suffering while China is enjoying. But the difference there is that when you come to Nigeria, it's a total different story, totally, in the sense that Nigerians are so very much into foreign products. And we have the crude oil in our soil. We'll draw the crude oil, and at the end of the day, we'll take that crude oil abroad, refine the crude oil, and they'll sell the refined products back to us without us being able to refine our own. Thank God for Dangote. So there are lots of us as Nigerians that are studying abroad. We study different courses abroad. If we that have studied abroad, we study different courses, if we can come back home to that knowledge which we've learned to move the nation forward, it will be far better for us all. It's not just enough for us to go abroad, make some money, and start building houses for rent back in Nigeria, which is what we do always. And that's very, very bad. Like, we are having insecurity problem. And people like us that have gone to different places, we can see that one of the stuff they use in keeping the US and Canada safe, it has to do with each person installing CCTV camera in their houses or at the front of their compounds. And with that, you don't really need the police to be around you 24/7. We can invest our monies as Nigerians to buy the latest iPhone. we can invest our monies as a Nigerian to buy the latest Samsung Galaxy phone. And these devices are not up to $500. They're not up to $600. In a compound of 4 or 5 persons, if we have this outside and someone comes in, then we can easily say, oh, this was that came in. And when you're able to link this stuff, because the power supply is not, we don't have 24/7 power supply in Nigeria. But if you're able to just move these devices that are like solar powered, very, very small, then if we have at every single particular junction, we have a CCTV camera there, then for the one of my house, which I've already linked to a particular service provider, like an IP, and that of the government, I will be on streets or major intersections. At the end of the day, it will go a very, very long way to help the police in finding out exactly who those people are. So my charge is to us living far away from Nigeria who are studying different courses, because I studied this, who have studied different courses that have seen different stuff. We can actually bring back the knowledge which we've acquired over the years of staying abroad, and the elite would not want to change things, because we are the elite, we are the system, because the system is a product of people like myself and every other person. We are the ones running the system. So not until you have concerned Nigerians who are visionaries, like back then during the Industrial Revolution in Europe, sometimes around 1760, they decided to chase manufacturing, and that was what transformed Europe. So not until we have a group of people that will come out and say, okay, this is what we want to do, and when we do this will greatly move the nation forward, Nigeria will continually be what it is. That's all I have to say.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yep, we still have some more callers, right? Okay, so we're still receiving calls to hear your thoughts and your contribution on our conversation. So to register, it is on Facebook Messenger, Move Agent, and then it's be great to hear from you. The books are on our screens. Don't eat tomorrow's food today. The other book, do not spend the money you do not have to buy what you do not need to impress people who do not care. That's the book right there. And then The Essence and Value of Life is another book that will be very useful and vital to today's discussion. So you can get all these books for free if you are a subscriber of Amazon Kindle Unlimited, and also you can order the books if you're in Nigeria on dsabooksplanet.com. We have another caller. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, DSA.
Good evening. Mr. Adeola.
Yeah, thank you so much. You know what, today's topic is really, I don't know how to go about it, but Mr. Tokwe, the guy from
Atlanta.
Exactly, he really tried to convey as much as possible, because he has been home recently to see there is no Christianity in Nigeria. The people are not even aware of their deplorable condition. It's so sad. Yes, see, Nigeria's condition is so sad. On the news every day you read the Boko Haram, the kidnapping, the bandits keep coming. Even they come regularly. There's this in Katsina State. They said in one local government they come every day to kidnap people and take them away. Yet no police effort to guard the people or anything. And yet we have a president who went to borrow, and he's saying that borrowed money allocated so much for NTA. I don't know what NTA is doing that, they don't even understand the security of that country. The president does not understand the insecurity he has in that. I don't think he understands it. It's so pathetic. Yes, Nigeria's condition is so pathetic, very pathetic. Not just consumer. I don't know how to explain what is happening to Nigeria. And if they continue that way, it's really they're going to the sad end. It's so sad. It is so sad, Mr. Tokwe just gave exactly the condition of Nigeria. He gave us a good picture of what is happening there until somebody can just step in and destroy all religious houses, whatever, all of them. And that is what we need. You imagine, hang on, let me tell you something. Adeboye, the forerunner of those, getting crowd. I don't think, I expect that he should be tired of this 70 hours worship or 71 hours, all his years of 71, now 78 hours. So when he gets to 80, we'll be doing 80 hours. These people are just, dear say, I watch it, I just feel sad. I feel I cry that are these people thinking at all? I mean, it's so sad. All we need is somebody to just come up and destroy. I mean, destroy to ground zero. Destroy all religious houses, both the Muslim and the Christian. Destroy everything. And then people will wake, because once all those houses are being destroyed, people will wake up. Reality will come to them because they have not seen something to make them realize the deplorable conditions they are in. Nigeria has not seen it. And the only way to see it is just to destroy. Just run over everything. Destroy it. Once they found it destroyed, they will find their bearings and start to build on good values that, yes, we did all this for, so it's all destroyed now. So shall we start from somewhere good? So then people will talk to them, they will listen. Because I don't know the condition. It's so pathetic. They say if you see it, you will cry. Because you have not been home, reality cannot sink well into you compared to we that grew. We've been there day in, day out, yearly. So we know, we see, we interact with them. It's so sad. It is so sad. I myself, I thought I was going home to retire. I'm changing my mind when I see things because it's so sad. It is so sad. I'm telling you, Nigeria's condition is so sad. Of all African countries, I think Nigeria is the worst now. If we want to rate it, Nigeria is the worst country now. Everything bad is in that country. No value, no nothing. So we need, the first thing, you did very well by attacking the religious sect first. But we still need somebody to come in and destroy, bring everything, run over it with caterpillar and destroy it. People will wake up because Nigerians are not waking up at all. They don't even realize how bad the situation, religion has really messed them up. They don't realize it at all. They are just thinking it's normal. And their life is getting worse. It's so sad, very sad. Thank you for what you are doing. I hope, something good is coming out to people who are, because it's only those who have ears to hear when all these things you're doing is coming up that will get their bearings right. But those who, Bible has said if people have ears, no, they can't hear, eyes, they can't see, and it's so sad, very sad, very, very sad. Thank you so much. Dr. Anu, thank you. We really appreciate all your effort in bringing out all these ills of the society and bringing awareness to everybody, because until we are very aware, there's nothing going to happen. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Mai. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling. I don't know if that's the final call for today. We still have some more. All right.
Oh, no, I think.
When we do the final call.
I think it's already too late.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being with us today. It was an interesting time. A lot of deliberations on our on the state of, especially from our callers, on the state of Nigeria and where we are right now. And it just makes me remember our discussion of last week. I think that's something that's an episode that everybody has to listen to. Because in that episode, Sunday, he gave a full description as to why a lot of us are cynical about Nigeria. The thing about it is that many of us are cynical, but we don't even know who we are. But I would like to encourage everybody, and I'm saying this because I want to encourage everybody who is still here to please, if you're a Nigerian and you want the best for Nigeria, right? It will be great if you can watch the last episode. Although, of course, all the episodes we've done are fantastic, but so that you don't get to that point where you begin to lose hope and lose faith in what you see for the nation, in your hopes for the nation, I think it's great you watch that video. We're talking about cynicism and how to address cynicism in Nigeria. So it would be great if you can watch it and to gain some understanding on how faith and how hope can be restored so it's not lost. Well, thank you for being with us today. My name is Anu Ojo.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us. We appreciate your active contribution today. Yeah. Every Friday we are back. So those ones who couldn't get through today, make sure you write on time next Friday. Peace.